Hello, in the video. Today we're going to take a look at the Master League meta here, as we're going to have actually a lot of changes coming up for the Master League. A lot of things are different now, and yeah, Master League going to be, of course, for most people not really interesting league, as this is a little bit less accessible, as you have to use XL candy on literally everything here. It's level 50 league, and basically you have to have all those level 50 legendaries. So still, we can take a look at some teams there. Mostly going to try to build some teams as well later on the channel without any legendaries, but Master League in general kind of forced to play it now, which is not the ideal scenario. But let's take a look on what changed. Taking a look now at the meta directly, we're going to see, of course, Lugia is still up there, going to be one of the best Pokemon you can use, which never really changed, but we see the first change already on the second position here, which is going to be Dragonite with Superpower. This Pokemon now has coverage against those Steel types, which usually would wall it, so it's going to be a very good pick, but there are a lot more Pokemon that now basically got a big boost. Another one going to be Zacian. Actually, Quick Attack, which I didn't really expect, going to be a little bit better than the move that it usually used before, which is going to be Snarl. So Quick Attack now going to do some more damage than Snarl, which is going to pick up some more matchups, or it's just throwing on a charge move where you usually use 2 charge moves before. So Zacian, even though it was already the best, if not one of the best Pokemon there, like, it's still even got not more of a boost now, which is kind of insane, to be honest. But let's take a look at some more. We have Meloetta here. If you have the XL candy for this, it's a little bit difficult to get them, of course, but yeah, that's also a thing. But another Pokemon that's definitely new into the meta going to be Tackle Xerneas. Tackle now generates 3 energy per turn, which is going to allow this thing to get to the close combat and Moonblast pretty fast. And this thing going to be a new meta Pokemon as well. We're going to have the shiny release soon as well, and you can get those XL candies then as well. I don't have the XL candies for this Pokemon, of course. I don't even have a good Xerneas because I didn't rate it first time it came out because it was horrible then, but now it's one of the best Pokemon. More Pokemon that got boosted is, for example, the Chill Drive Genesect as well now. This Pokemon is one of the best Pokemon in the Master League, as this now has the perfect coverage with the Chill module there. I would actually use not X-Scissor there, but Magnet Bomb, just because I expect a lot of fairy types, so this might be a little bit better than X-Scissor, but X-Scissor would allow you to beat something like Mewtwo a little bit easier. Another one that's actually way better than you might expect, going to be the Fairy Wind version of Florges. This Pokemon going to be insanely good, of course, still getting walled by the Steel types there, but it's still going to be one of the best Pokemon that you can run right now. And there will be some more. For example, there's still one I'm looking for. I have the Buzzwole now in there as well, which is going to be interesting. But there are also some more other Pokemon that are new and that are good, as well as we have the Nihilego here. This was the Pokemon I was looking for. Nihilego going to be able to counter those fairy types. Still a little bit tricky because you have to be careful about the close combat, but Nihilego going to be the first actual really viable poison type. I'm not sure if there was any other poison type prior. But yeah, it's the best poison type in this meta. Otherwise, it's Sneasel and Gengar, which is not really good. And Nihilego has a pretty high stat product as well. So going to be interesting how good this Pokemon going to be. But it's getting hard-walled by every Steel and Ground type, so it's going to be a little bit tricky to run. So this was a longer meta analysis here because there are a lot more new Pokemon in there. Let's take a look at the top 5 teams for this meta. The first team here going to be an interesting team with a double fairy line in the back with 2 move updates here as well. The Zacian now having access to Quick Attack and the Xerneas having access to Tackle. Both of them could function as a Safe Swap. I would still use the Zacian as a Safe Swap here because Quick Attack generates energy a little bit faster compared to the Tackle, so you would be able to pressure the opponent a little bit more with your charge moves, which are both pretty similar. You can opt to go as well for a Wild Charge on your Zacian. Maybe you actually want to do this, because otherwise you can be a little bit weak against something like the Ho-Oh, but otherwise you have then your I always forget the name actually, like it's so weird to say Zacian and then Xerneas, both have such similar names, but Xerneas in the back as a closer will be pretty decent. Of course, Dialga in the lead. Dialga is still always going to be one of the best Pokemon that you can use in the Open Master League there. For the next team, I tried to build a team around Nihilego, and To be honest, this is pretty difficult. NiRiain itself is not that bad if you can get into the right matchups. For example, the Ho-Oh, which you see a lot of times in the lead, which I also have here. Also the zdsgfhdfzgx, which is also a lot of times in the lead. But I feel like it's a little bit tricky to build a team around because of the weaknesses. You cannot really do anything against steel types, you cannot do anything against ground types, you cannot do anything against water types. So this is why I think that maybe Dragonite might be the best pairing. But then again, there is a steel type like the Melmetal, which of course is still better against the Dragonite, even though you have no superpower. And also there's still the Alga, which is a little bit tricky. As a safe swap here, you're going to have the Yveltal, which is currently in raids as well. This Pokemon has access to the move Hurricane, which I think might be a better safe swap, because what you're going to get out of here is, of course, the fairy types when you swap it in. So you really want to have some kind of coverage against those. And if you have like something like the Hurricane, you will be able to hit them for neutral damage. Maybe even go for Gust as a fast move. I'm not sure, that might be even a cool idea as well. But yeah, NiRiain, if you have a better team in the comment section, like just tell me there. But yeah, this is a little bit tricky to build a team around. Also, what I want to add for the first team, you can also use Florges in the backline there as a closer if you don't have one of the other two. So just heads up there. The third team here, we're going to have a pretty similar team actually to the first one here, but it is fine. We have the Zekrom in the lead, and we can also use something kind of like Reshiram in the lead. It's a little bit more tricky with the Reshiram, but Zekrom kind of helps you in a lot of matchups as well. Then you have, again, you can also use the Xerneas as a safe swap, but here we have the Zacian as a safe swap because Zacian is still a little bit better than Xerneas, to be honest. And then we have the Florges in the back. And if you take a look at Florges and how good this thing going to be now with just a pure fairy type moveset, it's kinda insane. So having something that can bait out the fairy type answers like the Zacian and then the Florges in the back most likely will be one of the most deadliest combinations that you can run. And yeah, this is basically all for this team. Like, it's kind of simple. It's like an ABB line again, and you can kind of destroy everything with Florges, which is kind of interesting nowadays. The fourth team here, we're going to be a kind of core that you know already for ages in the Master League. We're going to have the Dragonite in the lead, having access to superpower now. Going to be such a good Pokemon now. We have the Melmetal, which is basically the core that you know already for ages. Like, you had the 2-0 Butters team using both of those Pokemon. And then you have the Genesect with the Chill Drive in the back. If you did get enough XL candy for this Pokemon, definitely worth building it for the Master League, as this Pokemon now has access to such good coverage moves and will be such a good closer. And this is kind of how I would play this team as well. Depending on what you face in the lead. If you face a lead, like for example the Dialga here, I would most likely rather go into your Genesect, even though like you're not a perfect matchup there. You still have the Chill Drive version of this Pokemon, so you're going to get a neutral damage against the Dialga. But if you don't face Dialga in the lead, I guess you could go into Melmetal as a safe swap to bait out potential Ho-Ohs in the back, as you still have access to the Rock Slide, and then you can avoid the fire damage on your Genesect, which completely gets destroyed by your Ho-Oh. So this is kind of how you can play it. It really depends on what you face and how you basically feel better with it. But both ways are fine, and this team should be a lot of fun as well. I saw a lot of people actually wanting to try a team like this out as well. For the final team here, we're going to have a team around Buzzwole. Buzzwole going to be the best fighting type that you can use in this meta, as we're going to have the Excadrill and also the Metagross in the back here. While you have those two Pokemon, both not legendaries in the back, you can also play something like Melmetal again, I guess. But main reason here, Buzzwole going to be able to destroy all those steel types. Of course, it's kind of what Excadrill can also deal with, but Buzzwole itself doesn't want to face any kind of fairy types, and also kind of don't want to face any flying types, and there is where the backline can come in clutch. I think maybe even the Melmetal might be better instead of the Metagross because of the Ho-Oh matchup. So you have two Pokemon in the back that can also learn Rock Slide, because otherwise you're going to have a little bit of a problem there. But otherwise you can get a little bit better matchups with the Metagross against something like Mewtwo if they don't run Shadow Ball, or also something like the Lugia. But it really depends on this. Like, Melmetal might be a good alternative for the final Pokemon here. But yeah, what are you going to play? Are you going to play Master League? Let me know in the comment section if you play Master League, what team you're using. And otherwise, we're going to see tomorrow a video about the Evolution Cup, which going to be also a little bit interesting. I think more people are going to run this cup. This is going to be it for this video. Thanks for watching. See you next one. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.